Big exciting news out of Germany. Volkswagen is going to have a $35,000 car in the US, an electric one at that. It is such big news, and here to talk about it is Randy Kirk. But first I should mention, I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla Weekend. Randy, it's big news. Tesla's running scared, very scared, I am sure, because again, as I just said, Volkswagen is introducing a $35,000 EV.
You have beat me to that news. And what year? 2020.
26, I think, is the year they're targeting.
2026.
Now, in the article, they are showing the same picture that they showed for the ID.2, which was announced back in March, as the $25,000 car in Europe. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That's interesting. Are they adding range, maybe?
Charging more in the United States than they do in Europe?
Maybe. Are they going to build a factory? Are they going to build it here just so that they can qualify for the EV credits? They may have to. But 35,000, are you excited about that?
Well, there's plenty of opportunity to sell a $35,000 car. There's lots and lots of folks. If the car, well, what did Elon has a saying about that? If they make a compelling product that is compelling at 35,000, then there's plenty of people that want to buy it. So what is it going to be about this $35,000 car that make it worth more than the Gen 3 car that will be coming along that will be apparently in the $25,000 range?
One advantage Volkswagen has is that the compact Tesla, at least as last we heard, is not slated for US deliveries right out of the gate, but for Latin America and developing markets. That would buy them a little more time. There are people who don't like Tesla to a sufficient degree that they will buy anything else. Crazy people. That they will buy anything else just to not be part of the Tesla experience, just to not support that dastardly Elon Musk feller. Because he's visible, and when people are visible, they're easy to not like.
If I have a serious choice, I sometimes make that decision. So if there is really, a clear cut, I don't want to deal with this person because of something this company, because of something they've done, but there's an absolutely equal choice over here. Sometimes I'll make that choice. Have made that choice in the last year. But if it's a clear, like for instance, I'm not thrilled with a lot of Amazon's positions, but I make a big part of my living off of Amazon, and I certainly spend a lot of time getting their content.
So Comcast and Time Warner are neck and neck in the we are the worst company race. But if they had fiber for $20, everyone would get it.
Right.
Everyone would get it. And when Tesla announced the first round of big price cuts to the Model 3, getting it down into the 30,000s, there were a lot of people on social media I saw, both Reddit and X, who said, man, I hate that guy, but it's $10,000 less than the Ford, and it's a better car. It's a better car for less money.
Yeah.
Now, the $35,000, the cheapest possible Volkswagen that they will make, do you think it's going to have premium sound? I think it will not.
You think it won't?
No. Why would it? For $35,000, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I made a video recently just going into greater depth about why Japan doesn't make EVs yet in serious numbers, because I had a lot of mistaken beliefs in the comments on the original video. People say, well, it's too many, they don't want to be beholden to China for batteries. Panasonic's Japanese. Yeah. They're a big EV battery maker already.
In Japan and in the United States.
In Japan, in the United States. LG, Samsung, and I think one other are Korean. Yeah. Between those three, we're talking 36% of the global supply, and Korea is a very close trading partner. And they are largely economically dependent upon one another, as many developed nations are. But one of the things that people were saying was, because I said, the cheapest camera you can get in Japan is only $12,000 less than the base Model 3. Base Model 3 often has incentives on it where the Camry doesn't. And the Model 3, based on Japan's electricity and gas prices, is $12,000 cheaper over 100,000 miles, meaning the base Model 3 and the base model Camry are the same total cost of ownership.
Wow.
And people say, right, but they want that savings now, not eventually. Right. But again, these are different cars.
Yes.
The base Camry does not have good sound. While every Tesla has premium sound, every Tesla has the panoramic glass, every Tesla has autopilot, and just so, and the infotainment
massive amounts
system.
of stuff in the entertainment center.
It's
Updates making the car new again every couple of weeks. Yeah.
The base model Tesla is closer in comparison to the specs of the highest trim model of other cars like the Camry. And people say, yeah, but it's noisy inside. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Even my Model Y, which does not have all the benefits of the Model 3 Fresh, is still quieter than my old minivan, which was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And it's just a better car. So I don't think the Volkswagen at $35,000, certainly not the $25,000 one they're aspirationally hoping to sell in Europe in 2025, which I don't know. We were talking earlier during the break. You told me they're hiring 20,000 new people. Is that right?
Yes. They're doing so well overall. I mean, their whole company is going crazy, increasing sales in the ICE division. Their EVs are such demand that they're actually letting go 20,000 people.
Letting go 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Well, it is a tough climate for a lot of big ticket items, which cars are, but this is temporary, and this does not bode well. 20,000 layoffs. Mind you, it's a very big company.
Yeah.
As a percentage of the workforce, it's not a huge deal breaker, but it is a little bonkers to be cutting so aggressively at especially if you're on the verge of releasing in the next, for 2025, I think they said for the European market, that's 2025 starts in like 13 and a half months.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be ramping up? I don't know. Apparently not. So I'm a little concerned that Volkswagen, that their 25,000 euro car, so 28,000, and their 35,000 US car, same car apparently, may not be as big of a seller as the fans would hope.
Yeah. And yet on the other side of the coin, Brian, I always want to throw this idea in. We need Volkswagen. We need them to have some successes. We need Toyota to get on board and have some successes, because I know that there's a couple of people out there that think that Elon Musk can build 80 million cars in 2030, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. He's going to be very happy to build 20 million, and that leaves 60 million for somebody else to build. And BYD's not going to build 60 million, but BYD might build their 15 million, and then high-end Kia could come along with another 6 or 8 million, and et cetera, et cetera. But we're going to need Volkswagen to be still in the mix, and preferably General Motors and Ford and Honda, all of them.
And 6 to 8 million was literally the two numbers I was thinking of as well. So what do you think was the minimum range for a compact electric car in the US that would be considered serious in a year?
The minimum range of miles that it can travel?
Yes, sir.
I think you're going to have to stay at over 260. I don't think you're going to be able to drop under 260. Is that your number?
250 is what the article says. Okay. I think that's close enough. Especially if it's an LFP battery where you can charge to 100 without any degradation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is. They are hoping to make the batteries domestically to at least get the rebate on that.
Right.
I think a compact car could be made with a 50 kilowatt hour battery.
Right.
The standard range Model 3, I think, is barely above that in markets where it's available. Yeah, I don't know if it's at that small in the US, but I think the China and European model version is only maybe 58, and it gets over 300 miles. So a 50 kilowatt hour battery with LFP could fit in a compact and get you 250 plus. And that'd be the real range since it's LFP and you can charge it all the way up without worrying about it.
Right.
The concern there is one of the considerations in the article says subscription service consideration. In a twist, Volkswagen's contemplating just leasing the cars, just making them available on a monthly fee schedule. If you're going to do that, you better have LFP batteries, because if it ain't my car and I'm giving it back at the end of the month, I'm juicing to 100 every day and I'm running it down to nothing, because that's slightly more convenient for me and slightly more inconvenient for you. But that to me tells me that they may not have the most confidence in the product. But it'll be. Oh, also, you know what? If it's on the if they're leasing them, I think you get IRA credit for a lease regardless of where it's made. I think that's the workaround that Kia is using.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting consideration. So in the comments, what I want to know is this car coming? And what to you is the minimum range for a US spec compact EV? I know we all want a cajillion, but being reasonable, the 300 plus range that I have on my Tesla is more than enough. And I've now done several trips, where I'm driving for hours, and it's fine. I've only had to hit a supercharger on the first day because I went out driving for no reason, and on the way back from the Veterans Day parade. And I might have been able to make it home. I'm not sure. I don't remember now, but we had to eat. So we just plugged it in, ate, came back. It was fine.
Now you're a new owner, so I'm gonna tell you a little secret that not everybody knows.
Okay, it'll just be between
extra
us.
20 miles.
Oh,
there's an extra 20 miles.
Okay,
we've tested it 4 or 5 times. Not on purpose. We've gotten ourselves into trouble, and we're like, well, we know there's an extra 20 miles, so we'll just keep going. And by golly, I don't know that we tested the whole 20 miles, but we've gone significantly over empty.
Yeah. And I'm not worried because the battery warranty is so long that if it degrades below 70%, I get a new battery.
Well, 7 times in 3 years. I mean,
Well, right. No, I just mean I've yet to charge to 100.
Oh yeah.
To do a range test.
Right.
Because I'm not worried about it. I don't even think about it. And I'm charging on a 110 at home. I'm using just the mobile charger.
Me too.
And it's adequate. It does what I need it to do. Even when I went down to Portland on Thursday, got back, plugged it in, and 36 hours later had to do the drive up to the Veterans Day parade, I was still, I don't remember, I charged it to, I think, 90, and it got back to 90 by the time I left, and that was good enough. Yeah, and if I'd have charged to 100, I definitely wouldn't have had to stop on the way back home. But
it's 5 miles an hour when you charge at home on the 110.
Yep.
And 5 miles an hour in 12 hours, you got 60 miles. I mean, there's very few people that commute more than 60 miles a day.
Yeah. So that's the last thing, and then we will wrap it up, is that if your obstacle is I either can't or don't want to have an electrician come out. Some people can't if you have an apartment or a condo or something like that. But we used to have a garage at an apartment, and it had an outlet. Mm-hmm. You could plug it in there and have all the juice you need for almost all uses. You'd need a pretty long commute to not be able to wait until the weekend to get all the way back up again, but whatever. So it's, for most people, it'll be fine. I wouldn't sweat it too much. In the comments, just say hello. Just tell me what you think of my exciting Christmas decorations there. Getting started. Kind of build up over time. Don't want to get too festive too quick. Get a little bit of the nog sickness. Can't do it. 1,000 points.
Are you going to be playing Christmas songs too?
Oh, I would love to get demonetized for playing Christmas songs. So, but you know what? I have Christmas songs that I had my Christmas guy make, and I played one once on a live stream on Christmas Eve. And I lost subscribers.
You lost subscribers.
I lost subscribers. It was early in the days of showing my face and my personality, and people were like, "This guy, I don't know, man." So everybody else, like, subscribe, do all the usual things. Hey, maybe support me on Patreon or Randy on Patreon. Who knows? You can also support me on X as a subscriber, on YouTube as a member, if you enjoy what we do, because we have fun doing it. So maybe that's our punishment, is that we get to be poor. So for everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you, clever robots, as the holidays approach.